You know what the real big lie is? That America is a systemically racist country. You know, everybody bought into it. A lot of people were virtue signaling. A lot of powerful people wanted to retain their power, so they pretended they believed it. Yet we're living with the consequences, especially police to this day. They are being harassed. They are being canceled. Police, the good guys. And this is a lie, too, that somehow, even if you believe that systemic racism was a thing, that looting would solve that, would somehow change the situation, is all nonsense. And just like that episode, another episode now pervades all of American culture, this obsession with January 6th. And the worst person in all of it, I believe the prime culprit just might be Liz Cheney. Boy, oh boy, she is milking this moment. Her personal hatred of Donald Trump, she hates him more than she likes America. Does she like America? I don't know. It's incredible. After she wasted all of our time last week and the week before and for months now with the January 6 hearings, she was on all the Sunday shows, and even Fox, they wouldn't challenge her. They just listened. And when they tried to extract one nugget of truth about Joe Biden and what he might be up to with China, listen to what she did.
Do you share the concerns of some of your colleagues and others in the Republican Party about the Biden family's dealings in China, the flow of money from the Beijing government linked officials to the Bidens?
Yeah, I certainly think that it could be of concern. I think that it's not something that I have looked at the details of. I've certainly seen the news reports of it.
Could be of concern. Maybe I'm busy. I'm doing other things. I read the newspaper like you. Joe Biden might be owned by China. I can't really get around to it because I have so much January 6th stuff to focus on. Same answer. She continues. Watch what she does with a question about China funneling money potentially to the Bidens.
If there is something substantive on either side that Congress needs to be looking at, we should certainly do that. And I think that has to be guided by substance and not by political attack. I mean, I was really disgusted, frankly, on Thursday night when even before Sarah Matthews began testifying, the House Republicans put out a tweet attacking her that they then had to take down. She's a staffer. She works for the House Republicans, for a House Republican. That kind of just launching of vitriolic partisan attacks is really dangerous for the country, given where we are today.
We're allowed to. We're allowed to engage in partisan attacks or anything. You're allowed to speak. You think Sarah Matthews, whoever the hell that is, her feelings getting hurt, somehow that's more dangerous to the country than President Biden being owned potentially by President Xi. That's where Liz Cheney is. And it's really, really suspicious. And she's issuing ominous warnings. Who the hell is she? Excuse me.
The normal sort of vitriolic, toxic partisanship has got to stop. And we have to recognize what's at stake. And individuals like those who are running the Republican conference, who are the leadership of the Republicans in the House, need to be held accountable for their actions. And they need to understand how serious the situation is.
Accountable for their actions. How serious the situation. What do you have in mind? These guys are exercising their freedom of speech. They can say whatever they want. You want to send them to Gitmo? That's a move your old man might pull. Hey, we make fun of Cassidy Hutchinson because she shows up and she knows absolutely nothing except what various guys told her for whatever reason they were telling her stuff. Yeah, she opened herself up, just as Sarah Matthews did. They're hiding behind these witnesses. They find somebody they think is sympathetic. Ooh, a 50 or 60-year-old man could never challenge this beautiful, innocent girl or these great Capitol Hill cops. I'm sorry, but this is America, and we are allowed to engage in language. This is politics. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's not very nice, but it is freedom of speech. Something else. I got to tell you this again. I mentioned it on Friday, but they pulled such a cynical little stunt, and they're still doing it with cops. So this is Officer Robinson. Take a look at him. Seems like a nice guy. He did what he was told. He came and gave them an answer about what he heard some guy tell him. He was in a presidential motorcade in the very front car. Listen to this.
The second witness is retired Sergeant Mark Robinson of the D.C. Police Department, who was assigned to the president's motorcade that day. He sat in the lead vehicle with a Secret Service agent responsible for the motorcade, also called the TS agent. Here's how Sergeant Robinson remembered the exchange.
You heard what she said. The lead vehicle in the motorcade. There are about 80 vehicles in these motorcades. Take a look at a motorcade. There are so many vehicles. There are hundreds of law enforcement officers, Secret Service, state troopers, you name it, who work these presidential motorcades. The Secret Service, by the way, they said they would cooperate. They said they would make their agents available. No, they wanted this one retired sergeant who was in the very front car, all the way at the front, to find out what he heard.
Was there any description of what was occurring in the car?
No, the only description I received was that the president was upset and that he was adamant about going to the Capitol, and there was a heated discussion about that.
Why this guy? Why do they choose this sergeant? He's so many cars away. He's talking to somebody. This is hearsay. He heard somebody say something. He's retired. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he heard something. The Secret Service said they would make their agents available. Why didn't they go to them? They put this guy on the big screen in the United States Senate in prime time. Now, you know why they're picking these folks, by the way. They have a little bit identity politics, a little bit. If we pick the right person, it'll be harder for the bad guys to criticize them. The bad guys. That's what they call us. Somehow, I don't know, people are going to be reluctant to take on a guy like Sergeant Robinson, point out that his story is irrelevant.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. I want to tell you about the Patriot Gold Group. But first, let me tell you that the S&P has already lost $8.2 trillion in 2022. Did you know that? Peak inflation is not even hit despite the Fed rate hikes on groceries, on gas. You know it as well as I do. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are warning of another 20% drop. Inflation is winning in a knockout right now. The Fed is going to raise rates again at the end of July. Meanwhile, Goldman, Wells Fargo, and Bloomberg are all forecasting gold to surpass all-time highs. If you want to invest in gold, call 888-936-2373 now. Call the Patriot Gold Group today and ask about their no-fee-for-life IRA. Sounds like a good deal, don't it? Here's the number, 888-936-2373. 888-936-2373 for the Patriot Gold Group.